Welcome to the 2017 Fiat 500X Trekking. And this particular Fiat 500X is completely fully loaded, excluding one option. It's got some more of like a dark gray exterior. I haven't done one of these types of videos in a long time, and since we got this new car in the family, I figured why not. This one also is all-wheel drive. Nice tinting on the rear windows. It's got these really nice optional larger wheels on Conti Pro contact tires. And what's cool about the brakes is they are actually like the quote-unquote upgraded Mopar brakes. You can see right behind there on the caliper. It's got these nice little LED turn signal indicators in the mirrors. Beautiful projector beams. Parking lights and turn signals. And your fog lights. The thing about this car that I don't like though is it doesn't have any LEDs whatsoever. No HIDs, no nothing. It's all just standard halogen / incandescent bulbs. At any rate though, we'll go ahead and get inside. It's got these nice silver door handles, and as you can see, I just unlocked it by putting my hand in there. And that causes the turn signals to flash, and you can lock it by pressing the button, of course. And everyone knows about that kind of stuff. Black leather interior. Nice detailing. White piping. And this leather actually does feel legit. It actually does feel really nice. Got your perforation here. Okay, I'm going to try not to break my phone this time. Last time I tried this, I ended up breaking my phone. Gotta close the door. And, of course, to turn it on, all you need to do is just put your foot on the brake and then push the start button, which is found here. It's kind of in an awkward place, but you'll get used to it. Let's go ahead and start with the door. Have these nicely finished door handles. Your locks. Control your mirrors. Auto down and up on both of them. And on here you have this nice padded material. Up here is kind of a harder plastic, but it's actually not crappy feeling and solid. It actually does have kind of a soft touch to it, so that's really nice. Down here you got like a couch cushion armrest. This thing is really plush. Really, really nice. Down here you got storage and a cup holder. You have a speaker, which this one does have the Bose audio system. Over here you have your headlight controls. Press this in for fog lights, and of course you can just turn the dial to change what mode you're in. And you have your dimming switches here, vent controls, obviously all that stuff. Pretty simple. And this button at the end here is your lane departure control, so you can turn it on and off by pressing that button. Turn signals, of course, and your brights, of course. Everything here is pretty standard for the most part. And of course up here you have your beautiful gauge cluster. And you can change what displays on the center there with these buttons here. So you go up and down, which changes which mode you're in, so you can look at different things. And there's a little number up here, which is helpful. It tells you which mode you're in, so that way you can keep track. So, for example, if you want to go to speedometer, you know it's number 1, so you just go to number 1. And each mode has like a sort of a list. So it's like a mode with a sub-mode, basically. So then you press the left and right buttons to look at the different options in each sort of mode, you know what I mean? So, for example, let's go to vehicle info. And that one has 3 tabs, so you can go left, right, all that good stuff. And as you can see there, this one does have a drive mode selector as well, located down here. And I'll show you more about that later. And interesting, this one has 666 miles, so it's a little awkward. But anyway, of course you have your call buttons here, you know, because of course it has Bluetooth, because every new car has Bluetooth nowadays. Cruise control settings, and like I said before, the only option this does not have is the radar guided cruise control, the adaptive cruise control, which would be here. And on the back of the steering wheel, you have buttons. On the left side, it's to change tracks, and on the right side, it's to change volumes. So that's nice to know. Also, apologize for my voice. I'm still trying to get over this sinus infection. So pardon me if I sound gross. Of course, your stock back here is your windshield wipers. Nothing truly exciting there. And also I wanted to show you on this here, that's your lane departure kind of light. It basically will change color depending on whether or not you're veering off of your lane. So it'll turn yellow if you're starting to kind of swerve a little bit, and it'll also vibrate the steering wheel, which is really nice. And by the way, this steering wheel is awesome. I love this steering wheel. It's nice and smooth. It's leather wrapped. It's got nice big bolsters here for grip. It just has a great shape, and it's flat down here, so it gives it like a really kind of a sporty feel to it. It's pretty awesome. And overall, the quality really isn't that bad. As you can see here, it's kind of like a soft touch up here too. And right here is like a kind of a unique material on the dash. It's really neat. It kind of matches the exterior color, but because this is the trekking, it doesn't change this color like it would anything else. So like, for example, the pop in the lounge, whatever the exterior color is, will be this color on the dash that goes all the way across, which is really cool. But, you know, the trekking is the one that we wanted, so that's the one she got. So go ahead and move down a little bit. You got your armrest here, which goes back and forth, nice and leather padded, leather wrapped, all that good stuff. Electronic parking brake. You have your lit up cup holders here, which do have these little kind of bulbous things here, so that way it keeps your drink in nice and tight. Drive mode selector down here, like I said before. So for example, you don't just flick it, you gotta hold it for like a second. So if you wanna go in sport mode, you do that. See how I held it, and then it does it. And up here it will tell you that you're in sport mode. And then I'll show you, like I said before, if we go into the drive mode, instead of showing your miles per gallon like it would in auto mode or just regular mode, you want to be a little bit more sporty. What it's going to do is it's going to show you your G's, which is kind of cool. And so give that a second, like you can see there. And then go over, you can see how much power you're putting out. And then you can see here, steering is in sport, all-wheel drive is active, and it's an engine performance mode. So really, really cool system. I really do like that. They did a good job making this not boring, you know what I mean? And of course, to the right, you have your low traction mode, which is for, or your traction plus mode, they call it. That's for if you're in snowy conditions, and as you can see here, it shows you how much power you're putting to each wheel. So instead of being just all-wheel drive all the time, it'll actually kind of use a computer to tell the car when to put more wheels to or more power to the wheels in the back or more in the front, depending on the situation. So good for getting out of muddy situations or snow and all that good stuff. And you can see here the engine is in performance mode, but the steering is in comfort mode, so that way it's not like super tight like the sport mode is. And by the way, this steering is pretty light, and it's really responsive. I really do like it. And we'll go ahead and put it back on normal mode just because. There it goes. And then of course down here, shifter, press the button, pull, obviously, move over for bump shift. And of course, it has a reverse camera, because why wouldn't it? This is also the upgraded screen too, by the way. This one has the nicer screen, so it originally comes with a smaller screen, but this one's bigger, and it has more options like the navigation, for example. And what's cool is you can look down here, it has this like little wrapped leather piece with the 500 badge on it, and what's cool is you can actually, it's a little button, you can unbutton it. So that's really cute. Got some storage, 12-volt outlet, or you got a USB port there, you got AUX, heated steering wheel, heated seats, of course. Temperature controls, this one does have the optional automatic climate control. And you got your max, defrost, rear, all that good stuff. You can just pause it and look at this if you want. It's dual zone too, by the way. Hit sync to sync them up, obviously, if you have them in separate temperatures and you just want to sync them real fast. Vents, of course. Nice and quality. Traction control off, hazards, and parking sensors off. And up here is probably going to be the longest part of the video. It's the screen. So you can hit this, and it basically just kind of turns the screen off. This mutes everything. This turns the whole thing off and the volume. Hit here for your radio, and it's going to play really loud. Yep. So it does have the Sirius XM radio, whatever you want to call that. Media is for USB and Bluetooth. And for example, if you want to change which source you're in, you could do USB 1, 2, AUX, and Bluetooth, because there's a second USB inside the armrest there. And navigation obviously takes you to your navigation screen. You can hit view map just to have it show you the roads you're on and just the roads nearby and all that good stuff, which is kind of cool. You know, obviously you can zoom out and all that stuff. It's not the most responsive system, but it works, and it is still really, really nice to have. And there is a lot of options for this as well. So if I go here, go options, you can do 3D map view, 2D north up, all that good stuff. And we like the 3D map view because it kind of tilts the map a little bit so you can kind of see where you're going, but it also follows what direction you're in as well, so that's really nice. And you can change whether or not you want it to tell you what the speed limit is. You can change whether or not you want it to warn you. You can set the speed limit warning indicator to tell you, you know, do you want it to warn you at 10 miles an hour over? Do you want to warn it at 15, or do you just want to turn it off completely and see we have it set to 10? I do have a drive video of this car, and it did actually warn me I was going 10 over, so that was interesting. And I'll link that in the description so you can see it. Phone controls here. No, I do not. I'm not going to do that for the demonstration. Everyone knows how this works. I'm not really going to get too much into that. And the app screen is basically just your general information: time, temperature, compass, and audio. So that's kind of cute. Over here you have your options menu, which you can change a lot of things in this. So you can set your auto locks and all that good stuff, whether or not you want the car to lock automatically when you start driving. And you can do headlight sensitivity. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff with this. Green lights, auto dim beam, so it has automatic brights. Cornering lights, all that good stuff. And of course, just your back button over there. And you look up here, you have auto dimming rearview mirror, and you have your power sunroof and all that good stuff, light controls. Everything pretty simple there. Sun visors with lights, with little extra. And like I said, it does have the Beats audio, so it's got a little icon there. It also is a power driver only seat. Lumbar support. Has the dual sunroof. Got a small one in the back and a big one in the front. Really, really nice. These seats are super comfortable, by the way. I love this thing. Can't really sit back there because there's child seats in both seats, but you get the point. These things here you see are just, they protect the back of the seat, so that way when a kid's kicking up their feet, it won't actually dirty up the seat. So those are really nice. Nice amount of trunk space. Little handle. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to the specs and all that good stuff. So starting with the engine, it is a 2.4 liter 16 valve multi-air 4-cylinder mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. It goes 0 to 60 in 8.6 seconds. It has 180 horsepower at 6,400 RPM, and its curb weight is 2,967 pounds. And so moving on to trim levels like colors and all that good stuff, and the options you can get, all that fun stuff. And starting from the cheapest to most expensive, the cheapest would be the Pop, and then it goes the Trekking, the Urbana Edition, and then the Lounge. And all of those have the all-wheel drive option, so you can do all-wheel drive on any of those. And with the engine, you have an option to get either the 1.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder or the 2.4 like I mentioned before. The 1.4 is only available in the Pop, so every other model comes with the 2.4 standard. And it seems they all have the 9-speed automatic. It seems the 6-speed manual is no longer an option in the 2017 model, so I'm not really sure what happened there, but I guess they just decided to ditch the manual since it didn't seem like anyone was buying it in the first place. And going on to colors, the most common color is Bianco Gelato, I think you pronounce it. Sorry if I mispronounced that. It's basically white. And going with the rarest color, it seems to be Blue Sky Metallic. And of course I'll show pictures of those on the screen. And then moving on to cost of ownership, it gets 21 city and 29 highway miles to the gallon. And its average listing price is around $25,000 US. It seems they can go up to, you get them fully loaded, they go up to 30,000 plus. The highest I've seen is 34, and I'm pretty sure the one in the video was listed at 33 or 32 or something like that, but that was just because it had basically every option, so that's why the price was a lot higher than the average price, quote unquote. And lowest I think I've seen it go is 23, so that's not too bad, but you don't get all-wheel drive, you get cheap cloth seats, you don't really get any options, you know what I mean? Well, I think that's all for the Fiat 500X. Hope it helps.